What is up, guys? Your homeboy Daniel from Tiny Studio Production. Today, as my co-host, we got Quez Black in the house,
Good.
and we got my homegirl Liliane Avalos. Today, we have the privilege to interview this amazing cast that Valdemar had on his film Mute. Amazing film, like from all the ones that he's done. This one really stood out to me. Like amazing, bro. Like for real.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank all of you guys for giving me the opportunity to like interview you guys, because what you guys are doing down here in the valley, like that shit stands out. It's amazing.
Yeah,
y'all keep at it, awesome, man. So we're gonna start with everybody's gonna take turns on some questions. We're gonna start with Liliane Avalos. She's gonna start with Valdemar, and then Alexa, and then we're gonna take it from there. So you got the floor, Miss Avalos.
All right. So my first question. Well, first I want to give my first impressions on this. So to be completely honest with you about it, I just learned of your great skills like in these past 48 hours, and I'm super excited to do this podcast, and I'm super excited to hear your insight and thoughts and your process, and everybody else who took part in this short film, because as an artist, I really admire other people, especially we're all from South Texas, so it's just exciting for me to see people who are really putting in the extra mile to really make the arts happen and all that jazz. So when I saw your stuff, I'm like, yes, I want to interview this guy. Yes, I want to pick his brain. So my first question for you is, what was your inspiration for your short film, Mute? What sparked this interest for the storyline for you to commit to it?
All right, well, I appreciate you and what you just said. Thank you. And I hope to maybe work with you something down the line. Yes. Maybe if you're ever over here, not in Dubai. Yeah, so with Mute, when I made Mute, I was looking into doing CGI effects. Ideally, that was the main thing behind it. So a lot of the stuff I've done in the past has always been down to the ground, not really focusing on visual effects and stuff like that. So I wanted to challenge myself as a filmmaker or as an editor for that matter, because I both directed and edited the projects myself, to challenge myself on doing something to create visual effects. And the one thing that's popping right now in the market is superheroes, superpowers. That's literally what the market is right now. So I wanted to go with the trend, and I figured I'd give it a touch of what I could do and see what are my limits as a filmmaker / editor for this project with CGI. So that's how that came about. So we were working very fast paced in this project. I wanted to keep dialogue at a very minimum to mainly just focus on the CGI, which is where I came up with the title Mute, being that a lot of my actors aren't really talking in the whole project. And I just went about it that way to make it more emphasis, to put more emphasis in the CGI as opposed to mainly the story itself. Nice.
Yeah, I'm starting to progress to watch to the film. I'm like, this is so nice. It's so serene. I'm like this person, they know their angles, their transitions, their color grading, it's beautiful. And then I'm like, I didn't read descriptions. Sometimes I don't even like to read titles. I just want to see what's going to be given to me visually. But then when the Latinas came out with the superpowers, I was like, wait a minute, let me just zoom in real quick. I'm like, yes, this is cute. So it was fun. It was super nice. Do you plan on doing a sequel?
I've been asked that many times. I have been asked about doing a sequel. I'd be open to it. Yes, I would definitely be open-minded to it. It's just timing, scheduling with everybody, and then trying to create a story that makes sense to follow up on what we did. So if I can orchestrate all of that properly and organize it, for sure I'd do a sequel.
Wonderful. So I guess with that being said, what do you have, planned in mind as far as your filming projects, or maybe even not filming projects, anything related in your field?
I have two projects in the works. One of them, which is my big break, I would call it, is I'm doing a partnership with HBO on an indie project. That's going to be my first big break into Hollywood, hopefully,
Awesome,
and
awesome.
get my way up there. But that one is, I signed an ND, so I really can't disclose much of it.
Yeah. We
Until
know,
I come.
we know about that over here. I got you.
But what I can talk about is the next project. So by the end of May, I'm looking into filming a project, a horror short with the same cast and crew that you see now, and a couple more new faces. It's called The Whisper.
Okay.
Or The Whistler. The Whisper or The Whistler. One of the Whistler or The Whisper. But it's a horror project based on an old folktown legend called El Sibon. Joshua, where was it that it originates from?
Mexico. From Mexico directly.
Mexico. Okay. Well, the story, my buddy Josh here, he presented it to me. He gave me the idea, and that's what we're running with. I've created a script already that's about 90% done. Once I fully have it completed, then we're gonna begin filming and going through the process of it.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's gonna be my next question. As far as, because you said Old Town, I'm like, Old Town where though? I'm like, there's something, like Old Town Dubai is one thing, but Old Town Mexico, I feel like I'm super excited for you. I'm super happy to hear that. I think, even from just seeing only this one project, it's well deserved. It's well deserved, without having to see everything else that's led up to this one moment, but I can see collectively all of the time and the energy and, your respect and to the craft. And so praise you and good luck with that for sure. So the cast, you're going to bring the cast along with you. How did you go about selecting the cast for this project?
Well,
we all want to know. I want to know too.
Well, for which project? For the Mute project or for the upcoming?
Yes, for the Mute project. For the Mute project.
So, how do I go about it? Music videos is the #1 key thing that I mainly focus on, and I'm trying to break my way into short films, independent filmmaking and stuff like that, right? So I've been able to work with Yalexa. She's a wonderful artist. She makes her own music, very talented. And I've worked with her in the past on a different project, and she showed a lot of charisma, a lot of energy. She was willing to get down and dirty in mud, rain poured over her, and fighting with spiders and stuff. So yeah, she was already one person in mind I had. Well, she's one person I already had in mind because of her commitment. And I wanted to add that into the next project, whatever it may have been. For my other cast, Kimberly and Lauren, who's not available at this time, I met them through another client of mine, a dancer friend of mine named Jay Sol. And they showed a lot of energy in their dance routines and their facial expressions in those music videos. I said, you know what? I think I can see them into something of this. So let me bring them on board, which is my first time officially working with them at a bigger scale. So that's how I got them, just because of the charisma and energy they had through their dancing. And I wanted to see how that would play out with their acting skills.
Sweet.
Justine, I've worked with her on several music videos, and since I've already built a comfortable relationship with her, I wanted to bring her on board to add another development into her acting abilities. Because there's one thing to just model and not have any dialogue well, I mean, she didn't really have dialogue in this one either, but she was able to act it out with her facial expression.
Slow introduction.
Yeah. And so Skinny, my buddy Skinny and Josh, so well, with Skinny, I'll start with him. His was a last minute thing. So I had invited 20 people at the time because the storyline was supposed to be very different, but I invited 20 male figures to play as inmates. And on the day of the shoot, only 2 people showed up, and he was one of those 2.
Okay.
Everybody got COVID or something at the same time, because apparently everybody gave me the same "I'm sick" message. But he pulled through for me, and we had to improvise his whole character. He wasn't necessarily the one into the script, but he made it work with his acting abilities and his commitment as well. And Josh, last but not least, my buddy Josh, I've worked with him for many years since I've started my first class cinema business entertainment. So I wanted to obviously bring him on board. I like working with the guy, and he helps me orchestrate everything the way that I need to. It's good to have a secondhand assistant when making productions, because things can go south very fast.
Mm-hmm.
But
very
that's
nice.
good.
Cool. So I'm hearing footnotes in my mind saying, okay, you saw the Texas grit in their eyes and you said, those are my guys.
Yeah.
The casting. Cool. And I'm also looking at your posters here in the back, and I can see maybe that's inspiration for your special effects.
I'm a big anime fan. I love
color
anime.
grading.
Yes, most definitely.
Cool. All right. So talk to me a bit about sound effects and the music. So I know that's, it can be sometimes for people a bit something that's like overlooked or like a second thought or something that's just like, not a main focus. But as you said, it's something that because there's no dialogue, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, well, for that, I want to give full credit to Beautiful Monsters. Beautiful Monsters is a production audio team from the Rio Grande Valley area. And I reached out to them to do the audio effects, add the music, because that's what they work on, solely focus on. And I wanted to bring them into the development of this project, because I can film it, I can edit it, but adding the sound is a whole different ballpark. Like when you're working on a film project, you literally have tens of thousands of hundreds of people working on something, but me, I'm just a one-man team. So I wanted to reach out and get assistance because I want to grow my filmmaking journey as much as I can. And for that, I need sources, I need friends, I need acquaintances, and that's where they come in. And I hope to work with them more in future projects as well.
Yes, for sure. I completely hear that. As artists, we want to continue to grow and produce more work. So it can be something a little bit difficult in us too sometimes, as far as like finding the right people to work with and delegating and outsourcing. So that's super cool that you found someone that you trust and you admire their work and they were able to deliver and you want to continue to work with. So let me backtrack just a little bit. When did you start your film career, your passion? Like when did all this happen? This should have been question number one, but I'm like, it must have taken a while, like this didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I started filmmaking. I started filmmaking. I picked up a camera about 9 years ago. It's been 9 years since I've started. By October, it should be 10 years. But it's been about 9 years since I've been working on music videos, working on short films. I had worked on short films in the past, very amateur filmmaking, but still it was fun at the time creating. And then I just separated myself from it, solely focused on music videos. But now I'm getting back on track with independent filmmaking, and that's where I'm leading to next for my end goal. My end goal is to make a full-length feature film, and that's where I'm trying to get.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was just actually talking to Daniel about that today, like long-term goals and putting our focus and our energy into only solely the things that are going to lead us to our ultimate goal, our ultimate mission and vision for ourselves creatively. So I respect that. We're on this call for a reason because we're all vibing in that same boat. So I got one more question for you. So if you could have done anything differently for this short film from you, what would you have done differently, if anything at all?
I would have brought more bug spray. I would have brought more bug spray on set. We were filming out there at a park, and very nature vibes, very foresty. And there was a ton of mosquitoes, sizes of a pterodactyl, I kid you not.
Yeah.
and we needed more bug spray. So next time I'm filming out in the woods, I'm gonna bring more bug spray.
You know, it's funny because of course we have like monster pterodactyl looking mosquitoes back home in Texas, right? But in Bali and Indonesia, we got like the whole swarms of them. But those guys have a whole, you know, different category of diseases that come with it. So more people end up passing away from yellow fever, got like, you know, it happened by disease of mosquitoes. So yeah, I hear mosquitoes, and I think regionally and through where I've been, and good thing you don't have to worry about that, because now that's something in the back of my mind, but that's not something you have to worry about in Texas. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah. All right. Well, do you have any other thoughts that you want to share with us? Maybe something that I didn't get to ask you, or?
Not at this time, but if anything comes into mind, I'll bring it up.
Okay. All right. I'm like just processing everything you said, and I know like I'm pretty sure I have more things that I want to jump in on. But let's jump in over right now to Alexa.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. So forgive me if I'm not saying your name properly. My name is always like butchered in all so many different ways, so I never get offended if anybody says my name incorrectly. It's okay.
Oh,
but am I saying your name correctly, Alexa?
Yes. Well, that's my stage name, like for my artist name for like singing. But my name is Yuritsi, which also gets pronounced like really wrong all the time. So it's Yuri, Alexa, whatever you want to call it.
I think Alexa is very nice. I'll stick with that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So tell me, what was your process in getting into character for your character?
For Mute. Oh my gosh. Okay. How do I make this super short? Because I always get so like I talk a lot. But well, honestly, if I'm being honest, like I feel like I've always loved acting, but like I've never really done it. This is actually like one of my first short films, if anything, filming, other than because I do music, right? And a little bit of that is that, you know, I started doing music like about 3 years ago. And I just always loved like the media entertainment in the industry. And I had already worked with Valde on a short film actually, which was the first time I ever like had acted in camera. And I told him, because it was kind of like a little deal exchange for a music video. He's like, look, I'll help you do your music video, but like I have this upcoming short film that I want. Would you be in it? I said, look, let me be honest. I've never like, I like acting and I will do it. I'm not shy, but I don't do it professionally. So he's like, okay. So I was really nervous. And long story short story, I enjoyed the process a lot for that. And like he mentioned, I had to do a character where I had to get all dirty. And I think I even cut part of my tattoo that time. So that just shows that I was really like going for it. So anyways, going back to your question for Mute, again, I didn't have any dialogue that like, I didn't say much, but I feel like when it comes to the emotions, I really do it into character. I even remember getting a little bit lightheaded when I started doing one of the breathing parts where he's like filming me and I'm like, and I was doing and I was doing like the fireball or whatever. And I remember I got a little lightheaded afterwards, but we were still filming. I think I never said this to anybody, but I got really lightheaded. I don't know if I was breathing super hard and I'm not used to that. And then I said, okay, wow, like I really got into it, and that's how you really know that. But it was a great experience. You know, I don't think that as far as preparing, like you did ask, I don't know. I think I just went for it, and
went
that's
all
just
in.
my.
You really channeled your energy into your energy ball.
I did. It was nice. It was great.
What was the most challenging thing out of all that? You know,
I think the fight scenes, I think, because again, like I'm not like used to, I'm not a fighter, first of all, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do that? And then I was with him because like, you know, like I'm not used to like, you know, getting her. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna beat me up. But it was fun. I would say that would be probably the most challenging one, the one I thought actually, but in reality it ended up being, you know, like good.
Yeah, you know, and I'm watching that scene, I'm like, I'm like, I wonder, I'm like, how much of this is like actually in her? Like, is she a fighter? Is she not a fighter? Does this feel natural to her? Like, these are my thoughts, like, as like, you know, a Latina too. I'm like wondering, like, are they friends? Because then I'm thinking of like the catty friends from like middle school too. You know, it's like when you want to throw down, it's like, here's what's going on.
Okay.
Like I said, if I'm being honest, I'm not a fighter. I think I got in a fight like once, but like in like middle school, and I was more. But I was like, oh my gosh, like is this gonna feel weird? But I guess not. You know, I think it's a good thing though, because if I was really like a fighter, I feel like I would probably like maybe not fake it, but it wouldn't come out, you know, like as good acting. So.
You feel like maybe you would hurt someone and there's not enough health insurance on the team. So.
I don't know.
Cool. So whenever Balde pitched you the idea, what made you say yes? Was it the whole fact of like the collaboration, or was there something else that like was really like sold you on it? Or
honestly, I didn't even think twice about it, because the experience I had working with him on set the first time was like, I want to keep doing projects with him. Like I'm like, until this day, I'm like, you know, and I'm kind of like glad already that like, I'm like, oh, I finally got news on him, like making another project and considering me being part of it, because I've been waiting for it. Like I've just, you know, like I said, I want to work more with him. So when he told me, I was kind of a little unsure of like the character itself, because I didn't really understand it. I kept going, I'm like, okay, so I think I'm not gonna talk. I didn't really understand the characters, but I was like, no, I'm definitely gonna do it. And I said, I don't care. I'm like, put me, girl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want, I'll do it. And it happened the way it had to happen. So I didn't really think about it.
So I have a process question. Okay. Whenever you're shooting, like after each shoot, are you a person who likes to like go run back behind the camera and say, okay, let me see that back? Or are you just kind of like, let them do whatever, and if they say it's good, then it's good. I don't want to see, I don't want to know, I want to stay in my character. So like, what kind of like an actress, or like, you know, what's your process behind that? How do you like to approach it?
That's a good question. And I think Balde should know this. He probably knows the answer. I don't like to look at the scenes. I don't like to, because I'm a very insecure person with like the things that I do. Like, okay, how do I kind of like, it's like a little contradictory, because I'm like not confident sometimes, but because I feel like if I see the scenes, I feel like I'm always gonna like ask more for me. I'm always gonna be like, no, like I don't like it, or no, I don't like this angle. So every time, and this includes music videos too, like with my music career, every time there's a scene, I always place my trust in the videographer. Like, and Balde knows this because we've worked several times together. I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, I like to see it afterwards, like the ending part. And that's exactly what I did for Mute. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna see it. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna see it. And I saw it live actually, because I did a little live on my Instagram. And I was literally like, okay guys, this is the first time I'm seeing any scene that you see here. So I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know.
So you did like the whole like reaction video live with your followers on Instagram?
Yes, I did. And I was like, I had the webcam, the phone, and I was like, literally guys, this is the first time. I don't know how I look, so don't judge me. You guys are seeing it with me. And my family too, like part of my family was there. I said, I'm like as thrilled as you are as to seeing it. So that's how it ended up happening. That's
a genuine reaction video that I'd be interested in watching, you know, like these, I don't know, like people like opening things. I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna waste time watching that. But you know, whenever people are part of a big project and they really put themselves out there, that's vulnerable, because I think about it and I'm like, shit, I'm like, I'd be freaking nervous. Like, so yeah. I think that's cool that you did that. Like, that sounds very genuine, very interesting.
Yeah.
So whenever you did see yourself, obviously you were excited, you were proud, you wanted to continue. Is that correct? You were like,
yes. I was like, I didn't expect it, right? Like I said, it's one thing like filming it and thinking you did it good, but then seeing it is another thing, because it's a whole different perspective. I said, oh man, I think I belong there. I think I belong in the so, yeah.
Cool. So, same question like I asked Violet. If you could do anything different after watching everything, the whole end product, what would you do differently? Like, if anything, you can say you're perfect, because that's true too.
No, I mean, besides the bug spray too. I'm like, besides the bug spray, bringing more. Let's see. Well, honestly, I don't know. I guess I'm the type of person that I feel like things have to happen. Things happen the way they have to. You know, you really can't. You know, and that goes a little back to the topic of like, I know Walde has mentioned he had invited like a lot of people to be part of the cast. And I just feel like for some reason, you know, they didn't show up. But my perspective about that is like, I don't know how that would have turned out with more people, since like we made it work, you know, perfectly. Just, it's like, I always think of this. It's better quality over quantity. So like, if you can have 4 people that do a good job on set, instead of having like 20 people you're going to have a hard time with, it's probably, it would have not worked out maybe like for the best. So I feel like things had to happen the way they did. As for my part, myself, I mean, I don't know. If I had to go a little extra on a scene, I would have, but I feel satisfied. You know, I think we all did great. So I think everything happened the way it should have. I don't think I would have changed anything.
I agree with everything you just said too. And yeah, I think everything turned out great as well. I'm super excited, which is a big reason why I'm on this. And, you know, Daniel invited me to be part of this. And I said, hell yeah, I want to talk to these people. They did such a good freaking job. Like, I want to
we appreciate
let them know that. Like, I don't get on, you know, here and do talking head videos or whatever, right? Or podcasts. But yeah, I wanted to get on here too and let you all know that you all did a very good job and you inspired me. And I hope that you've also, I'm sure, not even that I hope, I'm sure you've inspired other, you know, local gals as well. So
thank you. We appreciate it. Local Latinas.
Other Latinas. So what is your feeling on, or your thoughts on your character dying?
I mean, I don't think I remember in the script that
You're like, wait, did I die?
I died. I guess I did. I guess. I mean, well, everybody died, no?
Everybody dies, right?
I was about to say that. Wait a minute.
Everybody dies.
I'm okay with it, I guess. Because
how's your neck?
How's my neck? I mean, I don't know. Ask Joshua. But I guess I'm okay with it because I mean, I didn't really do much talking, and I was like, I feel that the part that I had, whether it was like big or small, I did it to my fullest. Does that make sense? Like I acted, if it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds only, I know I acted to my fullest and to my biggest potential, that I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's time to go to sleep. So, you know, but I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Of course, it would have been nice to be alive and see what would have happened, but I'm okay.
You brought it, you served it, put it on the table. It is what it is.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah.
Cool. Well, I think a little curveball idea that, well, I just wanted to get your insight on that, right? But the fact that there's like superpowers and stuff in this, it's like, maybe you didn't die. I don't know. If there's going to be a sequel or not, we don't know.
You gave me like an X-Men vibe.
I'm just being an antagonist here, protagonist.
Hey, maybe. Yep. Who knows? We don't know. So
We know as much as you do.
I would believe.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you very much. Somebody else wants to ask them any questions?
So up next we got Quez Black.
Oh,
He'll be
okay.
interviewing Kimberly. And then I'll be interviewing Justine afterwards.
The multi-talented Kimberly. The singer, the dancer. Hey, shouts out to the Vipers champions. And actor. So, with that said, only character with a dialogue. How was it with you, like memorizing your lines?
Okay, so not that hard. It wasn't that hard. Not because like, but it's because my memory is like kind of whack too. But but even though this is like my first time like acting, especially on like a short film, back then, like probably when I was like in high school and middle school, I kind of like dabbed in acting, sort of a little bit. So memorizing lines wasn't like too hard for me.
So you have a little experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really have a lot of experience in acting. I would be more of the person behind the scenes and memorizing everybody's lines.
Because to be honest, you could have fooled me because it was good. Like everything was good.
Okay.
And everything was good, bro. You know, I'm a blunt person. I let you know. It was good stuff. It was good stuff, man. Going to your superpower. So you throw flames, right? So I would think, okay, in your opinion, if you had a chance to change that superpower, what would it be?
That's good. Maybe instead of fire, maybe like lightning.
Yeah, there's something. Could have been lightning, bro.
Be lightning, you know? Be like, you know?
Okay. Remember. Tell Kukoy and them the remember. Nah, but hey man, like you guys did a really good job. And as far as the role, because your role, the character is very edgy. How did you prepare for that?
That literally took the words out of Padme's mouth. He said, "You have an edgy look, and I need you to play this character." And I was like, "Okay, I got it. Let's see." And like, wait, I'm sorry. What was your question again?
Like, because your character's real edgy and kind of mean. Like it was a mean character. So how did you prepare? Like, was it easy for you, or like you had to practice?
I think just like how Balde said, like the way I put in a lot of attitude into dancing is the same way I put a lot of attitude into the character. And when he said that I had like this edgy, like charisma look, I'm like, okay, I think I can play this. Especially because Balde is an amazing director. Like the way he tells me one thing, like he's like, okay, but wait, I want it a certain way. I need you to say it like this. And I'm like, okay, got it. You know, because the way he directs, like it real specific, real honest. Like if I was doing a sucky take, like he's gonna tell me. And
he tell you.
Honestly, it was just all from him.
Yeah, like honestly, it's an honor and a pleasure to watch. And Balde knows it's an honor and pleasure to watch Balde grow, because me and him go back. Like we go back.
And he is.
Yeah, so like to see him grow, I mean, it hits right here, man. Like I'm proud of the dude, you know, I'm really, really proud of him. You know,
I just am lucky enough to meet him, so.
Yeah, man.
You're sweet, thank you. I'm
gonna write a story of how he used to. I'm gonna write a story how he used to rap in my old room in the closet, doing his rap songs. So yeah, man, that's crazy. But would you ever do a soundtrack for your own short film?
Heck yeah! What do you mean? Heck yeah!
Start getting everything together. Let's go.
I'm gonna get her to
it. Random question: In-N-Out or Whataburger? I gotta know.
Whataburger.
That's it. Everybody, I need everybody there. Lily, you're out there.
Don't even talk to me about Whataburger. I haven't had Whataburger now for like 5 years.
Josh, In-N-Out or Whataburger?
Whataburger, sir.
All right. Skinny, you're all quiet. In-N-Out or Whataburger?
Whataburger.
This is a process of elimination. If anybody else says otherwise,
I'm waiting.
You're out of this step.
Danny, I already know your answer. I already know your answer. It better not be In-N-Out, bro.
We're all Texans. So we.
Justine, In-N-Out or Whataburger?
Whataburger.
Okay. We're good. We don't have to end the podcast, Sergi. Okay, so let's keep on going.
All right, so up next is Justine. I have some questions for you. And the first one is, would you have preferred to have dialogue in the film mute, or was it easier to be mute?
I would have loved to have dialogue because honestly, this was my first real like filming and me acting as well. I do have a little bit of acting background, but my forte is more dance. So if I would have expressed my emotions, my feelings through dialogue, I would have loved it. So I would prefer that. I mean, I love it either way.
Yeah. So I noticed y'all had the same outfit design. Is that something y'all chose, or what's the idea behind that?
Well, yeah, thank you, Balde, the cash app. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he bought us the outfits. But yes, it was Valdemar's idea. Yeah, I mean, I liked it too.
Yeah, he has amazing ideas.
Yes, he does.
What do you personally feel you could have done differently in this project?
Something I could have done differently. I would say, well, on this project we had to get really like down and dirty. So I'm like a girly girl. Like I don't really do that. So when we had to get like in the mud and in the blood in my face, I was like, oh snap, okay, I gotta act a little bit different here. So maybe more, I guess not to be so afraid and just like give it more. But I was too like, oh. Just kidding. Maybe, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. So I've noticed you've been in several music videos. So I'd like to know, how is the experience different than when acting on a short film and with a different director than Balde?
Okay, so honestly, I want to thank Valdemar so much because my first music video was with him. And since then, like through my social media platforms, a lot of people have been like, oh, like I want to get you for my commercial. I want to do this. I want you to be my model or my background dancer. So I give a lot of props, and I want to thank him because if not, I don't know how that would be just me. But so what was the question again? I'm sorry. I kind of
It happens.
No, like so what has made it different from like working with Balde,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, okay, so it's because with Balde, he's really awesome in what he does. So I mean, someone else, it's kind of like a little change, right? You have to adapt to another person, how they are going to direct you. So you just have to be ready to adapt and to change, or to to continue on with what you have to do. But equally, everyone's great.
Yeah. Do you believe your character should have lived longer, or were you comfortable with your death scene?
There you go. That's a good question right there.
I wish I could have lived longer.
Why couldn't somebody just leave?
But I love that, bro. I love, like, I know it's fucked up that everybody died, but I love because like it's because
you're watching you're watching the movie and everybody died.
You're like rooting for everyone, and then you're like, what? This is so short. It's such a short amount of time.
But it makes it different, you know what I mean? Like nowadays, you could predict like happily ever after. Like Valdemar just fucked all of us up with that ending, you know what I mean? But it made us want, like, fuck, we want a sequel to this shit, you know what I mean? So that was very smart, Balde. Like, fire, bro. Props to you.
Thank you.
Went a different route, bro. That was very awesome.
We're gonna go back with Quez. He's gonna ask some questions to Josh.
You give off a Dr. Robotnik vibe in a way. What inspires your look and accent for your villainous character?
Dr. Robotnik, yeah, I've heard that.
Wow.
It was just a look that we came up on the fly. Baltimore called me. He's like, hey, I need you to be a menacing scientist, a doctor of some sorts. I need you to be like, what's that doctor's name, Balder, that you said from Batman? I forgot his name. There's a character in Batman.
Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So he said, let's go with Hugo Strange, that kind of way. I did a lot of watching that. I'm not a DC guy. I'm a Marvel guy, but I went into that too. Yeah, I went into that to watch a lot of Hugo Strange, the animated show with Batman. I watched a lot of the Arkham video games. I just kept watching, and on top of that, I wanted to make it a little bit more, not like I don't want to be him specific for people and be like, no, not him. I threw in there a big actor that I really liked is Christopher Waltz from Inglourious Bastards and the Django, the German. He's a huge actor that I like. His seriousness, his tone, his goofiness when he plays every now and then too as well. We went for that kind of look there. The funny thing you say, Robotnik, that one did kind of come into my head because I liked how the glasses looked, the little curl to the mustache as well. We just went with that, and I went with different voices until I finally hit a little bit of, like I said, Christopher Waltz and Hugo Strange mixed together. But yeah, that's how we really came up with it. I just did a lot of research on those two characters mainly.
So you worked with Balde ever since his first film, am I correct?
Yeah, the very over 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, first zombie film we ever did. It was just crazy.
Is that the one my wife was part of? Is that the one? No, it wasn't.
Who was your wife?
Balde? Anna?
Yeah, Dead Reckoning, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's the one, yeah.
So the work ethic from the beginning till now, what has changed?
More serious. We've been a lot more serious instead of being more lenient with our people. Like Baltimore said, there's goods and there's bads to all of this, to the whole production. A lot of the thing is we just got to get more serious with our guys, a lot more, instead of wasting time goofing around a lot. I mean, there's time to do that, but we got a lot more serious. Like, hey, come on, guys, let's try to hustle it up a little bit more. People are calling in all the time. There's reliability too, so we just got a little bit more stricter now. We're doing the whole we do our research on. He tells me, hey, Josh, I got these people. Look at them. What do you think? I look at them. We see whatever material they have out there, if they have any, and see if they're a good fit, because it's kind of hard to try to audition people too, because it's just hard. It's just hard to do all that. It's just me and him basically. Mainly Baltimore's doing everything, but it's hard for me to help him wrangle all of this and just to go from there. But
I hit about that a couple times and
oh yeah.
And I even, I'm sitting with him during the music video, sit down. So you got any fill-ins? I'm available. And he changes the subject. I'm like, okay, about that.
Yeah.
I'll put you on.
Yeah, it's day and night with me and Baldy. He's serious. I have to be the one to wrangle everyone. Wrangle him in from time to time.
Bro.
But
as far as the work ethic, still talking about the work ethic, what is y'all's biggest challenge?
Just doing the choreography. The helping out the people with their moves, their facial expressions, getting them to help them remember their lines. A lot of these people are new, so they've never done this. A lot of them are camera shy. A lot of them feel like, hey, I don't want to look stupid on camera, or I don't want to look funny. And typically when we get to that, it's mainly me helping them with that and that aspect. But usually what I tell people is like, the more stupider and funnier you think you feel, that's what we want. You're actually getting out of your comfort zone and you're turning into that new other side of yourself that you never knew you had. The more stupider and funny you look, the better. That's the best thing we want. We want you to feel funny. We want you to look like, if you feel goofy, that's because you're doing it. So it's really hard to try to get people in that aspect. And like I said, the choreography, if there's fight scenes, it destroys me, but it's killer. It's killer.
What is your dream role as an actor?
Oh man, just to make it up there. Hopefully Baltimore takes me with them all the way. Just to make it up there and come out in a full feature-length film, preferably as a villain. I hope I'm a villain. Either way, but yeah, that's my goal, is to get there and to help out other people and to come out in films and entertain people, basically. That's
awesome, man. Do you and Balde plan on making more CGI movies?
I really hope so. We've talked about it already, and we're really in a lot of stuff. He's been telling me what's going on. I really do hope, and everything goes well, and that we're able to do CGI movies a little bit more and get all that kind of that budget. It's mainly budget. That's all it is. But other than that, we can do it. Nothing's impossible for us.
So would you say your biggest challenge as an actor would be choreography, or you yourself? What is your biggest challenge as an actor?
For me?
Yes.
I don't know, to be honest. Probably remembering some of the lines. I would say I that would be my biggest challenge, because it's not that I can, it's just that I help out with everyone else's, so I kind of got to remember everyone else's lines as well. So that's just mainly it, to be honest. I can, not trying to be cocky or anything, but I can fit into any role and try to play almost anything if I'm able to. I can do it pretty easily.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Favorite horror movie?
Oh, damn. For right now, horror movie. Cabin in the Woods. I really like that one. I really love that movie.
All right, Danny. Next victim.
All right, guys. So up next, I'm gonna interview Skinny, but I do want to point out to Josh that I really love your character, bro. I love the accent, like ladies, no need for vulgar language. Like, bro, I love that shit. And I feel like, bro, like the vibe I got. Obviously, there's Dr. Robotnik, but I also got like a Wario Waluigi vibe from like Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So I think like you and Valdemar should copyright that character and pitch it to Mario Kart. Like imagine him like talking shit, throwing those shells in with that accent. Like I don't know, that's pretty cool, bro. But yeah, like
you should do a parody, You're racing Mario Kart racing with different characters.
So Adrian Skinny, are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
What's up, brother? So talk to me about your character and how you prepared for him as he comes off with a bad vibe from the beginning.
It was interesting because, I mean, like Bao said, he was expecting to have a lot of people show up. So when he told me that it was only 2 of us, so I had to, that I was going to be the one having to really talk and have dialogue. It was, I really didn't have a lot of time to prepare. It was just, all I knew was that I had to be a bad guy, and I naturally already have a mean face, so it wasn't that hard to fit. It wasn't that hard for me to get into that character. The only thing that was really hard for me was just to remember the lines. I have good memory, but through repetition, and since it was just right then on the spot and really not a lot of times to remember, so even I had to do a couple takes because it would just slip my mind, the lines, but yeah, little to no preparation, but it was fun just doing it. So I appreciate him involving me into the project.
One thing, speaking of appreciation, like one thing I do want to point out is like how out of 20 people, only 2 people showed up, and you're one of them. And I'm pretty sure Bal is very grateful on that. And in general, like with all of us that are here, that we work, we create content, and like we all really appreciate those people that are like consistent and are about it, and I just want to point that out to you, man, that that just shows that you're about it, with
yeah,
that. Man. So how was it working with Balde for the first time? Did you expect anything different?
Well, actually that wasn't, as far as film, that was the first time, but the first time we really worked together was for a music video with Courtside J. It was a feature that I was on for his song. So that was the first time I really got to meet him and work with him in that aspect. But as far as the film, yeah, that was the first time. And it was interesting, his process, and especially since everything didn't go according to plan and he had to improvise, and Joshua did a really good job going back and forth, improvising new scenes and dialogue on what to say and what to do. So it was fun, just the whole process of seeing him. And I was, because usually I'm used to creating, and so it was interesting for me to actually letting somebody or being somebody else's puppet and just doing whatever they said or their vision. So the whole process for me was fun, so I enjoyed it. And if there is a part 2, I'm ready for it.
Well, one thing you said about improvising, like I got the privilege to work with Balde recently on a video as well, and I noticed how like he's amazing at that, man. Like he's great under pressure. He'll be like, like,
yeah, especially
quick,
for film, you have to be quick on your feet because you have to be a problem solver, because not everything's gonna go according to plan. So you're gonna have to, and he is, so which is really good. And seeing both him and Josh doing that on the fly, it was really cool to see.
So considering this involves powers, how challenging is the acting on making expressions and movements, knowing nothing is there live?
Using my imagination. I'm a big fan of movies, and I understand the process and how it is creating it. So I know there was nothing going to be there. So I know having to like make a face was going to be awkward in the moment, but I trusted that it was going to look good, once the finished project. And it did look good. So I just trusted Bao and did what I could.
So what was your biggest challenge on set?
Just remembering the lines, just on the spot. That was it. Everything else was fun and easy to do. It was just the lines real quick. That was all.
what can we expect from your character as it ends with a cliffhanger? Do you see yourself doing more acting?
Oh yeah, for sure. As far as my character, that's really up to Bao, and I'm ready for whatever he throws at me. So it'll be interesting to see what he has in mind for my character and where he goes being a bad person. Yeah.
Well, Skinny, like I'm looking forward to you coming out in films, bro. Like I've always admired you, like I've had the privilege to interview you before, and you're an amazing artist, amazing producer, videographer. You're doing it all too, bro, and like and that applies to everybody in here, bro. Like everybody that's in here is about it, like you guys are fucking amazing, and just I know we all go through bumpy roads, but just keep at it. You all have a solid team, you gotta, and that's important, like we're gonna go through like stuff in life where there's gonna be bad apples, and it looks like you guys already have that team, when it comes
like
to
on the real, bro, like with Skinny, Alexa and Kimberly, from one artist to another. I admire y'all, man, for taking that transition. That's awesome, bro. Like that's pretty dope.
Thank you. It was a fun transition. Yeah.
So I do have some questions for everybody. These are some general questions. So this is for the cast. What is both the most fun and challenging thing about working with Balde as a director?
Who goes first?
Don't be afraid. He's not gonna fire you.
Like I said before, Balde is an amazing director. So it's just like really easy to work with him and be able to just like come out the way that, like, in hoping that we did, bring these characters to life the way that he wanted. But like challenging wise, what would you say? Like, I don't know. I mean,
don't say anything bad.
Hopefully nothing bad.
It wasn't really a challenge for me. It was fun working with him on the whole process. So I don't really have anything bad to say about him.
What about you, Josh?
I worked with this guy for so long already.
Yeah, he has the most insight.
I love to get yelled at. That's all I can say. I love getting yelled
at.
No. With Balde, like I said, 10 years going in October. It's been a while. It's working with him. We've challenging. I can't. It's like I said. It's just trying to bring our vision to life. A lot of it is just us on the fly, literally on the fly. Just we got to change this. We got to change that. We got to do this. We got to find the right person. That's mainly it. Other than that, me and him work really well together, and I just love it. I love how we're always just clicking. Like one night, I call him, hey, I got an idea. I pitch it to him. He throws me another idea, and we throw another idea, and it goes together, and it's fun. It's fun working. It's fun getting it going. It's just on the fly ideas that we have, and it's like I said, it's just challenging, just trying to get everything combined. But it's 10 years is a long time, and I love it. I wouldn't change it at all whatsoever. And I love this cast that I worked with. And to be honest, this is like, not just saying this because we're on a podcast, but this is the best cast that I've worked with that has been able to do.
Yeah, he said it's a podcast. So he says
like to do facial expressions, remember their lines, and look natural. Like we've worked with some crappy people, and we're like, oh my god, this is the first time I really didn't have to put anything into it. This is the first time Baltimore never got mad throughout the thing. I was like, wow, this went really well. Like, it just went smoothly. I like this, and the cast, I wouldn't change it at all. I like working with them. Hopefully we can work a lot more actually down the road.
If you can give a request about a future gig with First Class Cinema, what would you like it to be?
I would ask to be on his tracks on his new future films.
I don't know. I don't have one.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm right here. I'll make a show. I'll make a movie.
All right, I got you. I'll see what I can cook with. Right, I ain't The Rock, but I'll cook some. Right.
You're Balde. Your First Class Cinema.
First Class Cinema.
I'll interject myself in that too. If you need me somewhere, even like costume design,
I'm saying,
stylist, set design, scout locating, script writing, little touch here and there.
There you go.
Coaching the girls how to throw down. I'm
here.
I need more teaching.
Yeah. No, I'm super down.
That's awesome. How many takes does it take for Balde to be satisfied with a specific scene?
Oh,
Yeah, dude. Where are these questions coming from, bro?
oh my God.
I know. What's going on?
I didn't write none of this, bro.
We're trying to
I-
stay in his films.
Script.
Yeah, we're trying to stay in.
There's so many of them. There's one where I think I don't know who was there, but there was one where I was getting choked, literally choked by a big guy for a film to be thrown into the lake. He got me and choked me really hard, and I was like, okay. He threw me, and Valdemar's like, oh, I didn't get that very well. I was like, oh.
Oh, that's a scary one, bro. That's a scary movie.
Yeah, the scary one. He choked me again, and there you go. And like I talk because I tell him, just choke me, make it look real. Again, and Valdemar, he slipped. I didn't like that angle. Let's do. I was like, oh. My God.
Hey, well,
Tossed into the lake. It was
Perfection, bro. Perfection.
well,
Yeah.
I'll point it out. Like I did give consent, but there is a few times in the past video that Valdemar had the girl slap me. We did like 5 or 6 takes of those.
That's
But I
I
mean-
need another angle. I need another angle.
I need you to
I
knock.
would have known. I'm not gonna.
He was just enjoying it. Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It
Um,
just depends on the angles. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what can Balde do differently to help you get the most out of your character for the next short film?
Nothing. I think he directs us very well, and
He does a good job, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, what I see,
Yeah.
he does a real good job. And when
there's
he's
not-
in his
there's
zone,
not
he's in
a
his
lot of
zone.
people- There's not a lot of people out there who can direct and lead the way that he does.
Yeah.
And I've worked, whether it has to do with dance, singing, or acting, I've worked with other like leaders who kind of like lack in the leadership where it's really hard to follow up. But you see how dedicated Balde is into what, how much work he puts into it. Like, it inspires you.
So, what advice or what feedback or points do you give actors or actresses whenever they're first working with you? Or are you just very like free flow, once they come in, then you see how things are going? Or do you give them a pep talk at the beginning? Or, I guess like what are your first words of advice for anybody who is coming on as an actor or actress for the first time with you?
Great question. Joshua had mentioned this a little bit ago, where we are always working. I'm always working with new people. I love to socialize and network with different people and bring them on board. And I present them the script, right? I'll email them the script. I'll tell them, let's meet up. Let's do a phone call. Come over to my house. Let's go over it, right? Let me see your performance. And then they'll give me their version of it before I tell them anything. Once they give me their version, I tell them, okay, I want you on board, or maybe let's switch your character to this character instead. I'm not feeling you for this one. And I'll tell them, look, go ahead and give me more anger. Show me more of a sad face. So I'll guide them through it to get it exactly how I need, because if they can't give me what I need, I cannot cast them on board. But I'm not a dick about it either. I like to be professional about it, but also at the same time, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you did a great job when I know you did it, right? So I wanna make sure that everything is done my way, but with the flexibility of the actor or actress. I wanna see what they got, and let me just tweak a couple of things and take it from there.
Okay, cool. Good to know. I think that's good to know as far as like, maybe there's going to be a lot of people who are watching this podcast for the first time and they're just getting to know all of us for the first time. And, like I said, I'm very inspired, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be other people. So, people who are going to approach you, from here after this, that's, you want to be approachable and continue to network and this and that, which is why,
I'm a very friendly person. I'm very friendly. So anyone can tell you that.
Any advice for young people or people that are barely coming into the film field, what advice would you give them?
Focus on lighting. It's not always about having the top of the line equipment. It's going to be more about how you can light a sequence as far as getting the mood of what you're trying to appeal. If you can master lighting, or if you can put a lot of emphasis on watching YouTube videos about lighting, that'll help you out with the quality of your production as much as possible. Because you can give a camera to anybody and anybody can film anything amateur. Even when I started, I didn't know about lighting. I didn't know all this and that. I learned through trial and error. I didn't have anybody giving me advice. I didn't go to teaching school about it. I just picked up YouTube videos throughout my time and learned from there. But the biggest takeaway for me to where I'm at now is always lighting. Lighting is going to be your number one key into how great the quality of your project is going to be.
So going to your lighting, what's your favorite type of lighting? The cold, the warm, or the RGB colors?
Honestly, the warm color. A lot of the music videos, when I film, even on certain parts of the short film, it's always like during the golden hour. Golden hour is my favorite time of the day to film at, which will be at the moment 6 to 8 p.m. That'll be the best time to film and get the best lighting for the warmness of it. Yeah, you can color grade it, you can tweak it here and there, but I just love the look of it. And I feel like that's my favorite time of the day to film.
Well, I have one last question, a little funny question for Miss Kim.
Hello.
What was your favorite line?
Oh my gosh.
Because I have my favorite line, but I want to
wait, but she has to say it the way she said
No,
it.
wait.
Okay.
I forgot how it goes. I don't know. The character I played, she had some good lines. But I guess like the one everybody loves, I love it too. The one, when I burned that guy alive, and I'm like, how I miss the smell of bacon.
Yes, that's the
Something
one.
like that.
There you go.
I already forgot the line, but something like that.
Fan fave.
Fan fave.
Yeah, I mean, everybody did amazing, but I like, and no offense to anybody, but I guess because you were the one that was talking, also in the video, but that whole darkness, humor, and like you stood out a lot with the attitude and everything. So it's been awesome, Kim. Like seeing all your work, like you're a jack of multiple trades, and as even as an artist, like you have the confidence, you do choreography, and
Good clarity cover, by the way. That was good.
Thanks.
Yeah. You have a lot of potential, and your homegirl Alexa too, you're amazing as well,
Thank you.
Choreography, singer, you do all genres, like different languages, English and Spanish, So
Skinny, you already know you're good, Skinny. Nobody got to tell you.
I already told Skinny that,
Nobody got to tell you.
And going back to music too, like Valdemar, like your lyricism, bro, too, like I like that you put thought into your shit, bro. Like, none of this mumble rap shit, none of this gold chain shit. Like, you actually put thought in your lyrics, bro, so it's badass, bro, Maybe one of these days you can come out on one of mine and Quez's events. I know you don't like to perform, but, one can only wish.
Okay. We'll see where the journey takes us with that for sure.
Okay.
I guess my little last 2 cents is just me really giving respect to the fact that you put in a lot of time into the special effects, with the syncing of the sound and then the tracking and, fine tuning all the special effects, like as per person, like that takes time. That takes time and a lot of like fine tuning and detailing for anybody who is familiar with the production part of it. So I know this is also maybe something we're not really talking a little bit too much, but it's something that I definitely want to give respect and my applause to you for. Super awesome. So, yeah, guys.
Thank you very much.
Aplauso.
Hey.
So we did amazing, guys. Any final thoughts? Quez Black. So I know you got a lot.
Jerry's final thought. Just everybody, man. Everybody in this Zoom is very talented, man. I wish you all the best. I know Balde's gonna come up with some more interesting stuff. Just don't leave us hanging. Don't let everybody die. Lily, I hear a lot of good things about you. You're doing your thing in Dubai. Get me a souvenir. Skinny, I gotta tell you, you already know what's up.
Yeah.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah, I already know, bro. The work speaks for itself.
I appreciate you. Hey, if you ever have any music you want to work on, we can work on it, bro. I know I know about you for like the longest time, and I know I never reached out. But I've been wanting to work with you for a minute, but we could definitely get something going.
Get something going, bro. I'm down.
Yeah,
as far as the girls, man, speechless. You guys are very talented, man, and just keep on doing what you do.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. I want to go back to one of the questions. Something about that they said, what was most challenging and fun working with Balde? Because I don't think I answered that, and I had a thought. I mean, challenging is like we said, really nothing. I think for me, maybe like I feel challenged sometimes when he wants a scene a certain way, but it ends up happening. So whatever. But the fun part is going afterwards to Whataburger to eat after a long day of filming. So I would say that's the funnest part. And Joshua knows. So.
Yeah, Whataburger.
Yeah. Awesome. So.
Whataburger.
I know.
Sweaty and dirty.
Me, I'm always looking ridiculous, but.
I want to thank everybody and Balde for setting this up. I do want to point out that if you guys are down to do an individual podcast, I'm down to go in depth with you guys individually. Another thing, Balde, I do have my podcast on the go. So if there's ever a time that you guys are doing the films, I'll take all the lighting, all the microphones, and we could do it, like before or while you're all taking a break. And on any of the films, just know Balde got you on that, and I'm just thankful, bro, that I'm thankful that you're keeping me relevant through this, because to me, that's always the key, guys. Like, I know we do music, we do, video, dance, but one thing I've always said, to market yourself, you always got to stay relevant, whether it's through a podcast episode, through a photo shoot, through an event, through a commercial of clothing line, just stay relevant wherever you can, and just stay consistent on everything that you do.
Please, you con su light up headphones y todo.
My Xbox headphones.
Yeah, for sure. You did a great job, Danny, in the music video. Your acting skills were on point for Arnold, bro. You played the drunk well.
I'm a natural.
I'm a natural drunk.
Nah, but like I said, Balde, I'll be sending you the video, and I'll probably be posting it in a month from now, because I got another one coming out, and then I'll be posting this one afterwards.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Wanted to make sure we put this out, we market it before I begin filming my other project. The other one's gonna be for the end of May. So as of now, we Gucci.
This is actually the biggest podcast we've had, bro. Multiple people. It's crazy. It was a challenge.
It was good though. It's nice. No real big interference, loss of connection with everyone. So.
And then you stayed. You didn't leave. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I can see the sun's going down over there and it's coming up over here. Right. I hear all the birds. Animals are waking up now.
Oh boy, here come the chickens.
So to the videographer goat over there, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? No. Kim, always a pleasure working with you. I love hearing you sing and doing your work. Alexa's an amazing actress. She's out there putting in that energy and performance. So let's see when we do another music video before we wrap up another short film.
Yes.
Christine, always great working with you as well. You do a wonderful job acting. Trust me, you're gonna get dialogue on your next one for sure. Stevie, I haven't chopped it up with you about the next project we're gonna do, but I'm gonna send you a message either today or probably Monday after Easter about the project. I'm about 85, 90% done with the script. Once I have it all concrete, I'll forward it to y'all. And well, Josh, always a pleasure working with you, bro. Even though I gotta yell at you a couple times, it's all because I love you. And that's about it, man. And Quez, I'll make sure to put you on into something. Trust me, I'm gonna put you as either a dead body or I'll give you Sean McAtree. When I had a meeting Twink.
Miscellaneous zombie.
Miscellaneous zombie in the background.
Yeah, I'll leave my eyes open like that.
But yeah, a lot of exciting things to come, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward and keep growing together. It's like Adam Sandler. You see Adam Sandler movies, and he always has the same team together because that's love and loyalty right there. So
yes,
I'm a big part of that.
That's awesome.
Well, once again, guys, thank you for everything. You guys all inspire me in different ways, and just keep going with everything, you know. Much love to all of you guys.
Remember, guys are over everything. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Well, music, peace, and love, arts, film. Peace out, guys.